With the mortgage-backed covered bonds that we've seen here in Turkey, I mean, they've historically been seen as quite a low-risk asset in comparison to its counterparts in the kind of straight corporate debt issuances that we see in the Eurozone. I think this year, if you look at year to date, we've seen mortgage-covered bonds again outperform its counterparts in the Eurozone region. Small increases, maybe 0.3% return, as opposed to negative returns that you're seeing on the kind of the standard non-FI corporate debt that you see again in the same Eurozone region. Again, the fact that it is quite a low-risk investment, or seen as a low-risk investment, the yields are quite low. However, you will see that the tenure and the currencies and so forth are very appealing to a lot of the investors coming into that space. From an issuer perspective, there's a lot of appeal that this particular asset class gives them. Historically, Turkish issuers have relied on client deposits, senior issuances, and we've seen Sukuk conventional debt, DPRs, SME covered bonds. But this new mortgage-backed covered bond gives them a new way, and it's a new funding tool that they'll have now going forward. They can utilize the cash flows that they now receive. But again, the flexibility that it has with the dual currencies, the tenure that's involved, you have recourse to both the issuing bank and also the underlying assets. So again, that's very much an appeal that investors will see when a bank is issuing a mortgage-backed covered bond. I think as well as that, you will see there is now obviously a precedent in the market. We've seen banks that have set up the platform, and ones that haven't issued are expected to issue over the next number of months. There's obviously been a lot of macro and geopolitical uncertainty in 2015. So as we go through that, we'll see the market kind of open up, and we'll see more and more issuances come. The Turkish mortgage-backed covered bonds are quite in its infancy at the moment. I mean, the legislation only got finalised end of last year. The platforms have been set up. The programs are there, ready to issue. We've seen one issuance so far. I mean, there's obviously appeal from IFIs and so forth, but again, it'll really be next year where we see the kind of the true kind of benefit you can get from the flexibility of covered bonds and the new investors, the commercial banks that will come in and maybe invest into that. But again, there's definitely appeal there on how they're set up. They're quite flexible structures, so depending on what the buy side are looking for, this structure has the ability to meet that. As a sponsor, I mean, Turkey is a very important region for our business. We've been here for a number of years. We have a representative office here, and we have people on the ground. So looking at this particular conference, this is always one that we've had huge interest in over the last number of years, and we continue to sponsor it. From an attendee delegate point of view, it's always very well attended. A lot of our clients are here. A lot of prospects are here. There's a number of issuers out there that we're speaking to continually that are looking at different funding structures that we can assist them with. Corporates are now looking to come to the market, tap the international markets as well. Again, there's new kind of investors or issuers coming to the conference on a year-to-year basis. Again, it continues to be well attended. Number of new market counterparties there as well that we're having conversations with. So yeah, it's an important date in the calendar for us. Turkey is a very well-established capital market, and with more and more new legislations as it develops, there's definitely more and more diversification in the funding mechanisms that a lot of the issuers are exploring. So conferences like this, I mean, it allows everyone to come together, share ideas, what they're seeing in the market, talk about pricing, time to market, who the counterparties are, who your agent is, and so forth. But I mean, as well as Turkey, you have a wide variety of how you can issue. So as I mentioned, we do DPRs, covered bonds, straight debt, Islamic finance, syndicated loans, and so forth. So there's a lot of different opportunities that issuers have coming to market, and it's really in conferences like this where everyone gets together. Again, it's a conference that's focused on Turkey. It's not a regional conference. So again, to have that and the attendances that are here is evidence of how well it's sought.